Welcome back to Last Rites, the Horror Scene Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Brown, and always with me is my other host,
Ollin Hernandez.
We'd like to welcome all of you creatures of the night back, and for all of you first-timers, welcome. If you guys like what you hear, please give us a like, subscribe, and tell a friend. So unfortunately, we didn't do a October recording, but it is November, on the cusp of coming up to Thanksgiving, and then right around the corner will be Christmas. So it looks like we've got some better audio going now that we have a different recorder. So hopefully these podcasts for the future will sound a lot better and cleaner. And yeah. So just jumping into it, I guess, we've got a lot of movie and TV stuff to talk about. We've got a review for Halloween Ends, and Ollin's got some bands and some comics that he wants to talk about. And so we've got a lot of information. This is probably going to be a long podcast, but hey, that's what podcasts are for. So we'll go ahead and just jump right into it.
All right, let's do it.
So starting with some movie news, there is a company that used to be around. I guess it looks like they still are around. They're called Full Moon Feature, which I think they used to be called Full Moon Entertainment, but they did The Puppet Master and a couple other different like B-style movies. But they had this movie called Subspecies that they did, and they're actually going to be bringing it back, which is on its fifth movie. So this one is called Subspecies 5 Blood Rise. The original actor, Anders Hove, and the original writer and director, Ted Nicolau. Sorry if I butcher his name. Nicolau. That's a weird name. I think they're European. And again, I apologize if I butcher his name. Are coming back. Anders Hove, as everybody knows, if you were a Subspecies fan, played Raudu, and he's coming back as the titular character, and also making a return appearance. Not sure to what capability she's going to be, but it's Denise Duff. She was in Subspecies 2, 3, and 4. She played Michelle Morgan, but from what I read, she is not returning as that character. So she's going to be a completely different character. Same actress, just under a different character. So
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Did you ever get a chance to catch the Subspecies movies?
I remember, I think, the first one, but I didn't know there was this many, actually.
Yeah, I knew there was at least 3 of them. I didn't know about 4. And then there was also another one, which was like a spin-off of the Subspecies called, I think it was called The Vampire Chronicles. I could be mistaken. But it seemed like it didn't have anything to do with Radu. But it was along those lines of the Subspecies, like type of vampires. So, but yeah, that's one of the top things that I found exciting. Because yeah, it is a B movie, but when I watched it, it was actually surprisingly a really good B movie. And I was really hooked into the character and the love story between Radu and Michelle. So. But it's interesting to see how they're going to do it. I mean, Anders is really old, and so is Denise. Although I've seen a picture of Denise currently, and she still looks pretty good. So, just kind of interested in the story direction that they're going with this. So I guess we'll see when that comes out. It looks like it has a slate for 2023 to come out.
Okay. Something to keep your eye out on.
And then we have a lot of remakes in the works here. So Salem's Lot, Stephen King.
Nice.
Looks like it's getting a remake. There was a lot of speculation about it not actually looking like it was going to be really good as a remake, but from reports that one of the main actors in the movie itself says it's very faithful to Stephen King's novel, which obviously helps out with Stephen King because he's very, very critical about his books becoming either movies or TV series. Point and taken, like The Shining, he hated that. From what I heard, he hated it. And then when they made it for TV, he actually thought it was like leaps and bounds better than Kubrick.
It was a lot closer to the source material for sure. Kubrick he's one of these directors that really goes crazy with his interpretations.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy his interpretations. It just, I mean, he is the director, so he can take those liberties to change things. But I know as a writer, those kind of things like end up just really pissing you off because you're like, that's not my story. Exactly. That's not what I was trying to convey.
Right.
So so it's looking like it's going to be good, and it's also set for a 2023 release in April. Also along in the remakes, they have The Strangers, which I didn't even know this was not even on my radar until I breezed across a page and it said that it was being remade. And not only is it being remade, but the guy who's remaking it is remaking all 3 movies at the same time. So he's just completely doing the full trilogy. He's just like, fuck this. I'm not, just going to do the one and hope it's going to, get picked up. I'm doing all 3. So
that's commitment right there.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome. I mean, I personally liked The Strangers. I thought that was a really good movie. But for him just to be like, you know what, let's just do all 3. I mean, that's just straight up, what's his name from Lord of the Rings?
Peter Jackson.
Yeah, Peter Jackson. He'd like pulled a Peter Jackson on this shit.
Nice.
Evil Dead is also not being remade, but Evil Dead is getting a new series. So this is going to be produced. It's still going to be produced by. I can't even think of their names. I'm like drawing a blank. Who was the director of? Wow, I'm talking about horror shit, and I can't even think of fucking who the. Sam Raimi, and who was Ash? Bruce Campbell. Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow, I just was not prepared today. So Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell are producing this. It's called Evil Dead Rise. What the story is going to be a completely new story arc and also new characters. So they're not bringing back Ash whatsoever. There could be some references to it. That's just hearsay. I haven't read anything as to that point of it. I just know that both of them are producing it, and that they said it's getting a whole new story arc. So it's going a new direction, but it's supposed to continue in the vein of the Evil Dead.
Apparently, Ash is not going to be in it at all.
He's just producing. So that's why I said like they might mention him. I don't know for sure, but yeah, he's not even in it. So
yeah, so it's supposed to be like a standalone sort of story.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm in.
Yeah, they're trying to make it as the new Evil Dead arc. So I think this is going to be like the number 1 movie, and then anything after that is continuing off of this movie. So, Scream 6 looks like Scream 6 is in full swing. This one is set to be in New York, not Woodsboro. And I'm still on the fence of what's happening with Neve Campbell. I hear she's out. I'm hearing she's in. I'm hearing she's out. I don't know what the deal is now. Like, is she in the movie? Is she not in the movie? Like, they're saying it's supposed to be like even bloodier because it's the lack of Neve Campbell in the movie, and it's like I heard she was in it, and now I'm hearing that she's not in it. It's like, well, what is it? Did she miss her deadline to be in it, and they just started shooting without her, or what?
Yeah, classic Scream drama behind the scenes.
Yeah, so I guess we'll find out for sure. I guess more to come on that, to see if she, is in it or not, and what, to what role she has. Obviously, the last movie that she was had very minimal screen time in it. At least not enough to, to bat in the eyes about. But it's, I don't know. If they're going a whole new direction, they should just completely nix her out. Just,
Yeah, it looks like Jenna Ortega is probably going to take more of a center stage going forward with this franchise. She was sort of a breakout star of 2022. So
yeah,
in terms of horror movies, Scream Queen, she really made a name for herself this past year. So
yeah, she did.
It looks like it might go that direction.
All right, well, we'll see how it turns out. So we talked about Winnie the Pooh in our last podcast.
Oh yeah.
So we were kind of on the fence of, is this a fan-made trailer? Is this, real? Is it fake?
It was weird for sure.
Yeah, but, the news has dropped that it is real. So Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is going to be the first Disney-related horror movie that's coming out. So, but that is 100% real. It's not fake. It's not fake news. So it is real. But as like I said, we were talking about that. It looks like other people have jumped on this wagon. The newest movie that's going to be coming out as of next year is going to be Peter Pan. They're calling this one Neverland Nightmare. I haven't read too much into it. Not too much news is about it. They obviously don't have any actors assigned yet from when I read it. I'm not sure as of today. But yeah, this is going to be the next Disney horror movie. It's going to have the adventures of Peter Pan. It's called Neverland Nightmare. So I don't know if you've heard anything about it or read anything or.
No, this is the first I hear of this. But those old stories always seem like horror stories to me. So it seems fitting.
I mean, most of them are all off of the Grimm tales. It seems like.
Yeah. Those.
Obviously, I don't think Peter Pan is, because that's I don't remember reading anything about that in any of the Grimms or any of those like classic books. But yeah, it's weird that they chose Peter Pan. But maybe the the Lost Boys are just psycho killers.
Right.
Maybe Captain Hook is actually legitimately a psycho, and is not this playful clown that Disney was trying to create him to be.
Right.
It'd be interesting if he's in the movie and see like what kind of kills he does with that hook.
And the title is cool, Neverland Nightmare.
Yeah. So it's
clever.
It's not going to be completely, I guess, about Peter Pan, but it's in Peter Pan's world. So obviously there's got to be some kind of aspect of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, the Lost Boys, Hook, Shmee, maybe even the fucking alligator.
Yeah. Horror adaptations are really fun to watch.
Yeah. I can't wait for that one. So I also can't wait to see what the next Disney esque movie they choose to create into a horror movie. So we'll see. The whole Disney line is just open and available.
Yeah.
And then last in the movie news. Actually no, not last in the movie news. So we got a couple more. Danny Boyle from 28 Days Later has confirmed that he's making a trilogy. So he had the 28 Days Later, and then he produced. I don't think he directed it. I think he only produced it. But 28 Weeks Later, and then now he's confirmed that 28 Months Later is the next in the franchise.
I wonder if they're gonna make it like like a movie where every time the number 28 comes up, it's gonna be like some sort of symbolism or sign.
Like that Jim Carrey movie, 23.
Right, yeah.
Where everything was 23. Like you were sitting there like, I did more math in that movie than I ever wanted to do in my life. But because it was so interesting, I was like, there's no fucking way this is 23. And you were like sitting there pausing the movie, trying to add things up. And you're like, oh shit, it is 23.
It is 23. it adds up.
I mean, obviously it was going to add up. But like when you're watching it, you're like, there's no possible way this is 23. But yeah, that would be interesting. That'd be a fun take on the movie. So yeah, it looks like zombies are not dead yet, so they're making a comeback.
You think they're gonna be faster or slower 28 months later?
I don't know.
That was one thing that always amazed me about that movie. These zombies are really fast, and people turn really fast.
Yeah. It was just like, we ain't got time for this bullshit. Just turn them. Just boom.
Yeah.
We don't got time for them to drag their leg across the floor here. Let's just get them up and running.
Yeah, the zombies were like insanely fast. It was like, there's no way.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be fun to see. Maybe they slowed them down, hopefully. And then this is the last of the movie news, is David Harbour of Stranger Things is coming out with his own Christmas movie. So finally, here's our first Christmas movie of the season. This movie is called Violent Night. David Harbour portrays old Kris Kringle himself, Santa Claus, and the story plot is of him coming to drop off presents at this little girl's house. I guess her and her family are well-to-do, but she's very innocent and still believes in Santa Claus. And at the point that he is there to deliver the presents, the house is being robbed. So there is a robbery going on. Looks like a very staged robbery. Like these people are getting ready to take everything. So Violent Night is what it's called. From the trailers, if you haven't seen them already or haven't heard about this, check them out. I thought they were pretty cool. Did you see the trailer for this?
I did, and apparently John Leguizamo is in it.
Oh, I love John Leguizamo.
Yeah,
he's like one of my favorite actors.
He was a great clown.
And Spawn.
Movie.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. But yeah, it looks super fun, just in time for Christmas, and I really love it when they revamp the Saint Nick character. There's so many iterations, and this one looks to be one of the fun ones.
Yeah, he still gets crazy and violent in the movie, and it's not like Silent Night where he was just a psychopath killer dressed as Santa Claus. It's fun to see that this guy's actually Santa Claus, and he's just like, just gives no fucks. He's like, nope, not tonight.
Yeah, this looks good. It reminds me a bit of a movie that came out 2 years ago, I think, called Fat Man with Mel Gibson.
Really?
And it was basically, the premise is this rich kid writes a letter to Santa, and instead of getting a gift, he gets a lump of coal. And he goes, fuck that, I'm going to put a green light on Santa, and hires a hitman to go kill Santa. And it just goes crazy from there. I won't ruin the whole movie, but that's pretty much the premise. And it's just...
it's got Mel Gibson.
It's Mel Gibson as Santa, the real Santa Claus.
Wow.
In a shootout, and several shootouts actually. It's really fun.
Man, I'm gonna have to either get Kevin to download that for me or try and find it.
Yeah. But Violent Night actually seems a lot more fun. By what I saw in the trailer, there's a lot of like really cool action scenes. So yeah, this should be fun.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's gonna be one of those movies where I'm just completely involved in it from the first minute. So can't wait to check it out. All right, so those are our movie releases that are going to be coming out soon in the near future. Also coming out here, looks like it's already released, is on DVD and Blu-ray, is Jeepers Creepers Reborn. That was released in mid-November. And Smile is coming out here in the second week of December, which will be released on Blu-ray and DVD. Ollin tells me it's a very creepy movie. I have yet to see it, so hopefully I'm going to be able to watch it this weekend, and then me and him can talk about it.
Yeah, wow, it seems like a bit of a weird time to release such a disturbing movie on DVD, but if you guys haven't seen it, go in without knowing much about it. That's how the only exposure I had to that movie was those promotionals where people would go into sports events and stand there and smile creepily at the camera. That's the only thing I knew about it. But it was one of the surprisingly good horror movies that I got to watch this Halloween season.
Yeah, I can't wait to check that out. And then I'm really a big fan of Jeepers Creepers. That was one of my favorites at the time when it first came out, because it was one of those movies that the bad guy won. Everybody that the bad guy was after, he got. Yeah. So that I was just like, man, this is such a pleasant change of pace. It's not like there's the final girl, or the kids got away with it, or everybody killed the bad guy, and I like the whole persona of the Jeepers Creeper, and so the Reborn, I just can't wait to check that out, see what kind of direction they went with this. Is this a retelling of the lore, or is it just a complete reboot of the original movie? So I'll be going into it blind, but it'll be definitely something pretty cool to check out.
Yeah, sounds good. Justin Long was in that one, right?
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah, that's where I when I saw how it ended with him, I was just like, wow, I can't believe that, because he wasn't that big of an actor, but he was still somewhat of a big name coming up for some reason. I don't remember what it was he did. He did something that got his name out there, and then he was in Jeepers Creepers, and then you're just like, oh, nothing bad's gonna happen to this guy,
right? Yeah, he's one of those actors that he can have that longer range, because he doesn't seem like a type of character, and all of a sudden he can be that character.
Yeah, I mean, watching him throughout his actual movie career, seeing what kind of actor he is, I thought he was going to be very one-sided, but he's actually a pretty good actor. Definitely can be a character actor, can be a leading man. He can do it all. I just don't think I think he's very underestimated.
Yeah, he's a very good comedic actor as well. Which I thought he was just a comedian until I started seeing him in all these horror movies, and I was like, wait a minute, this is that guy.
Yeah, I think he likes the horror movies. That's why he keeps going back to them.
Yeah, he was in Tusk, which we've talked about it before, and people really hate that movie. But he was good in that one also.
I mean, if you believe in it, so that's what matters. He obviously saw Kevin Smith's vision and totally believed in it, and he went full Tusk.
Yeah. He was also in two horror movies last year, which was really cool to see after he had disappeared for a while.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to him.
I remember seeing him in those Mac commercials way back in the day. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Mac and I'm a PC. And
yeah.
But back then I was like, oh no, Justin, what happened, man?
You sold out.
But it's good to see. It's good to see that he's back in the big screen, and he was in two really good horror movies this year.
Yeah, I can't wait to check out one of them. We spoke about it on one of the last podcasts, House of Darkness.
Yeah, that's the one I haven't seen yet, but I did see Barbarian. He's in that, and that was really cool.
Oh yeah, I'm watching that this weekend also, because that's another one that you said that was really good, and I've been dying to watch it, so we could talk about it.
Yeah.
So got Smile and Barbarian on the docket for the weekend. So we'll see how that goes, and then Monday we'll get together on those.
You're gonna love them, dude.
Nice. All right, so that's our movie wrap up with DVD releases. We have TV, and fuck, we've got a lot of TV. I can't believe, I'm so happy that there's this much horror in TV. It's great. It's just finally, the horror gets its due. But unfortunately, we're going to start off with canceled stuff. So there are some shows that were out there. I haven't personally watched any of them, but they are, as of now, canceled. I Know What You Did Last Summer had a TV series, just like how Scream had a TV series, which I can't believe they just completely effed up. And by the third season, just one of those things. I just wish that they would have just left the formula alone. I wasn't at first with that series. I wasn't happy with the mask, but it grew on me because I saw how they were trying to basically do a full reboot. Kind of make it their own, which I'm glad they weren't biting off of the movie. So that's awesome that they did that. But as for, like I said, I Know What You Did Last Summer, had one season and now it's canceled. Resident Evil was another one. I think you said you watched some of this, right?
Yeah, I watched most of it. It tapered off for me at the end. It didn't catch me, to be honest. It had some fun things. The thing that I didn't like about this is not a spoiler. It has this formula where it keeps going back and forth in time. There's flashbacks and flash forwards, and they do it throughout the whole thing. And I don't know why I didn't. It's not like a bad narrative, but it didn't work for me, and it kept.
If it's done right, I don't mind it. But there's been ones that have been just like, you can't fucking tell when the present is, because all of a sudden they're just like in this scene, and you're just like, man, this guy looks different. Like,
yeah.
Are they in the fucking past? They
Right.
didn't tell me. They didn't like put it on the screen, or now I have to like assume like what they're doing or what it is. Like,
Yeah, it tired me out.
or you see someone who's dead, and you're like, they're doing a scene with the dead guy. How's this happening? Like, yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, I think one of those shows that did it kind of well was Lost, and I think they were trying to do a little bit of a Lost type thing, but it didn't pan out. I don't know. It did not work for me.
I think we've talked about that too before. Lost is one of those, like, you either like it or you fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Fucking Lost. So yeah, Resident Evil only had also one season. So did you ever watch any of the I Know What You Did Last Summer?
No, I didn't get a chance to see that one.
I actually didn't even know it had a series until I saw it was canceled.
It was canceled, yeah.
And I was like, what?
Right.
It's weird. And then the last one is Westworld.
Oh, man.
Westworld ends with 4 seasons. So it has 4 seasons under its belt. I was actually supposed to binge watch this with one of my buddies because he just kept talking it up so much.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, that's what I hear from everybody. I mean, it was like shoving Westworld up my ass, like how good it was. Like, they're like, you got to watch it. I can't believe you haven't watched it. It's like I'm also that guy who hasn't seen Breaking Bad. Shame on me. Yes, I know. Because everybody else in the world is still like, you haven't watched this? What the fuck? Like, what are you doing?
You're like 2 series behind.
What rock are you hiding under? Yeah, exactly.
The good thing now, you can watch Better Call Saul first, because chronologically it comes first, and then you can watch Breaking Bad, which, I don't know, it would be a nice experiment.
Yeah, and then finish it with, from what I hear, shitty El Camino.
Right. Yes.
So yeah, those are your canceled TV series. I Know What You Did Last Summer with one season, Resident Evil also with 1 season, and Westworld with 4 seasons. So we're gonna get into current TV shows. So as of right now, most of these are in play or have already played. So we have Chucky, which is in season 2 right now, which is on the Sci-Fi Network. I haven't seen any of this yet. I'm waiting for it to finish so I can binge watch it, because that's how I watched the first one.
Same.
Just so I can get all of it in one shot. I don't know anything about this TV series, but the way I wrote it originally, it seemed like it was an incomplete thought. But the show is called From, and it's actually in a second season right now, and it's on the network Epix, which to be honest, I don't even know what that's on or even what channel that is. But yeah, it's there's a lot of talk about it, and there's a lot of static on the interwebs about From, so something I have to, I guess, check out. But it's on its second season. It actually just got renewed. That was one of the big newses about it, that it was renewed for its next season. So
yeah, no, I haven't heard of this at all.
Yeah, it's completely new to me. Don't even know what it is. So, but it's horror related, and that's where I found it, was on the old pages of all the horror sites. If you guys know what it is, let us know. Chime in, give us some.
The only actor I recognize is Harold Perrineau, which he's been in a few movies. He's an old actor. I've seen him before. But yeah, no, I have no idea what From is.
Who?
Harold Perrineau.
Oh yeah, I remember him from Showgirls.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That's horrible. I can't believe that. Oh, he was. Who was he? Was he Mercutio in Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet? Yeah. Yep. Yes, I love that movie. That's such an awesome movie. Yeah, he did that part so good. I'll have to check that out. From.
He was in Lost as well.
Fuck Lost. There's our Lost connection.
Right.
All right, moving on. So Anne Rice, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yep.
Has a series after her movie Interview with the Vampire, which is also in its second season. This is on AMC Plus. I also, I'm like so behind on every fucking thing. It's crazy. But from what I hear, this is a really good show. It's gotten a lot of good reviews.
Okay.
So definitely one to check out. AMC Plus. I guess that's better than AMC.
Right. Yeah, that's the reason I haven't seen this show. Is I kind of lost faith on AMC after a few too many seasons of The Walking Dead and stretching it out, and then Breaking Bad was really good, but man, that Walking Dead.
I think it was a mixture of Walking Dead and Vikings for me. Both of them are super intense shows, and it was like I can't watch anything else on this network. Like, I don't want to have to think too much. I just want to enjoy. So AMC Plus, I don't know if that's just a different type of AMC, or if it's paid, or what it is.
Yeah, it's got to be like a streaming service or something.
So, probably like Disney Plus. But yeah, check it out.
Plus the world that Anne Rice built, these vampire novels. I was a big fan of the novels back in my youth when I was a teenager. I read most of them. There's so many novels that she wrote, and the whole vampire world that she built. I think I read like the first 6 out of like, I don't know, there's like 12 or something.
Damn.
Yeah, there's
here I'm only thinking there was like 2 because of the Interview with the Vampire, and then what was that one with Aaliyah?
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned, yeah.
And there's the Vampire Lestat, Memnoch the Devil, the Body Thief, just some that I remember off the top of my head, but there's a bunch.
Wow. Man, talk about the original Twilight.
Yeah, right. and she wrote the one. I never read the witches ones, but it was.
That we're going to talk about that coming up here in future TV shows. So Even in death, she is a busy, busy lady.
Yeah. Mayfair Witches, that's what it is.
Yeah, Mayfair Witches. Yeah. So yeah, Interview with the Vampire, second season, AMC Plus. Which seems like there's a theme going on here. There's a lot of movies that have got turned into TV shows, which is kind of weird. So.
Yeah, that seems to be the trend right now.
Yeah.
Now with the streaming format, the long format, I guess you would call it.
I mean, I guess like when you like a movie and you watch it and you're just like, fuck.
I wish there was more.
Yeah, why can't I be watching this as like an episodic type of show? And so I guess, people took that idea and ran with it. So, like our next one, Let the Right One In. So not only do they have the original, I think it was Swedish.
Yeah.
And then they had the American version, Let Me In.
Right, with Chloe, what was the name of the actress?
She got those three names.
Chloe Moretz, something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, they have it's in its season 1. This is on Showtime, which it's loosely following the movie arc of the kid vampire. So
yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with it. The main one of the main actors is Damian Bichir, which is he's a really good actor. I've seen that cat since I was a little kid, and he was doing Mexican telenovelas.
Really?
And yeah, he's always been like a presence on TV for me. So I'm always curious to see what he's doing.
Oh, that's cool.
Currently.
Now, how'd they go with this? Do you know anything about this series? Like, is it set up as the girl is the vampire, or is it the boy the vampire?
Yeah, I think it looks like it. From what I read, is it's going to be something about family and the importance of family. So yeah, I think the vampire is going to be either his daughter or somebody related to him in some way. So I'm curious to see how they make this vampire.
Okay, well yeah, we'll check it out on Showtime. And then you brought this to my attention, so I had to put it on the board. It was the Los Spookies.
Yeah, HBO Max.
HBO Max. It's on its second season.
Yeah. The episodes are really short, and it's just a comedy series, and it's really silly, and it's really goofy, and you can tell it's Fred Armisen, which we should talk about him a little later. You can tell it's his sense of humor.
Okay.
And everything, like all the jokes, all the punchlines, you can tell it's his writing, because it radiates Fred Armisen the entire time.
Similar to like Portlandia.
Something like that. Yeah. Very silly, very like off the cuff kind of sometimes, and he speaks Spanish in this one. I forgot he speaks perfect Spanish.
Oh wow. I didn't know that. I thought he was like some kind of Middle Eastern.
No, maybe, I think
with like his last name, but I could be wrong. I mean, I don't want to just assume.
One of his parents is, I believe, Venezuelan, or something like that. So he can deliver lines in Spanish and make him funny and make you laugh. So the whole series is half in Spanish, half in English. It goes back and forth. So sometimes you'll have to read subtitles for it. But it's super fun. It's goofy.
Hey, nothing wrong with subtitles.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite movies are in subtitles.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like his dry humor. I think he's a very funny character actor as well.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, check that out. In its second season, Los Spookies, HBO Max. And then next on our list here is Dracula, BBC. So this is the English adaptation of Dracula. It's only got one season right now. As of right now, there's some speculation as if this series is canceled or not, but no one is for sure saying yes or no. There are only 3 episodes of this season, which is weird, but they're 90-minute episodes.
Yeah.
So it's literally like 3 movies that you would have to watch. But I love Dracula. I've spoke about that probably on every podcast we've talked about, like how much I like that type of his character, his persona, and then everything that he stands for. I love the book. But yeah, this was brought to my attention also by Ollin, and I'm definitely going to try and watch this probably this week before Thanksgiving. Not this weekend because I've got a bunch of movies to watch, but definitely going to try and watch it this week. That way I can get caught up with it. You said you watched it, right?
Yeah, it's really creepy, but also there's a lot of dark humor in it, so it keeps going back and forth. It's a really good representation of Dracula, especially the way they portray his supernatural powers. It's really, really cool.
Right on. Next on the list here is Sandman. So Sandman got renewed for a season 2. So that's great news. Neil Gaiman is probably ecstatic about that. From what I read, he said that this is probably one of the closest adaptations to his writings that they could do, you know, on the big screen, or I guess the little screen. But for his writings, yes. And I watched all of season 1. I think you said you watched all of season 1.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, and before I wasn't really a big follower of the Sandman. My wife is a huge fan of Sandman. Definitely has a lot of the trades and has this huge book of like a lot of the trades that are built into it. That one of our friends got for her for Christmas. And
cool. That's a super fan.
Yeah, so those are the only like ever readings of Sandman that I've read. I think I've read one of Death, like standalone, from another friend. She had it, but yeah, I mean, it's just not something I ever followed or got into. But still super cool. Like when you read it, you're pretty engulfed into it. So
yeah, the series does a really good job at presenting you with the universe without having prior knowledge. You could be completely ignorant of the source material and still truly enjoy this show.
Awesome. So the next is Witcher. Witcher also was renewed, so it'll be renewed for season 4. And it looks like on top of it being renewed, that there's going to be a cast change. So Henry Cavill, who is portraying, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Gerald or Gerald?
Gerald.
Yeah,
I think it's Gerald.
Gerald Arivia, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're he's actually leaving the show, and then they're bringing in what's his name? One of the Hemsworth brothers.
Is it Chris?
No, Chris is Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's one of his brothers. Liam.
Liam Hemsworth. Okay,
yeah, so they're bringing in Liam Hemsworth. He was in Hunger Games, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's the guy.
Yeah, so he was in Hunger Games. So he's not as built as his brother, but that could change. You know, he could get jacked up like Chris, and
he could have taken some creatine or something.
Because Henry Cavill is fucking built, and I actually really like his portrayal in this series. He's just completely different from anything I've ever seen him in. But yeah, I think he's an outstanding actor, and it's sad to see him go. But kind of excited to see how Liam's gonna, portray the character, or hopefully, he does it justice and, doesn't fuck it up. But yeah, season 3 is about to drop. I don't know about to drop, but it's gonna drop soon. And then once that's done, then season 4 will be with Liam. So season 3 will be the last season with Henry Cavill. Because right now Netflix only has seasons 1 and 2, and I just literally finished season 2 last night. So
how'd you like it?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
it was awesome, so good. It did have some of those jump scenes, like where they went from from present to past.
Yeah,
and that was where I was just kind of like really confused because it didn't even tell you that it was doing that, and then you're watching it and you're just like, how is what the fuck's going on?
Wait, did this happen already?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm confused. So, but once I got into the swing of it and understand what was happening, then I was just like, okay, I know what they did here. I was like, they could have just fucking said that they were doing this, or. But anyways, I don't want to bitch about it. So those are some of your renewed seasons for TV. Dahmer was a 10-episode miniseries on Netflix. Although I don't think Dahmer was its name. It had some other name like Dahmer the Monster or Dahmer.
Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. It's
So,
like
there
they
we
say
go.
Dahmer twice.
So yeah, it's 10 episodes. Not an actual movie, but or not a movie. I'm not saying movie, TV series, but just a 10-episode mini series. I doubt they're going to be able to continue it unless they're just going to, do his jail time where he's like mopping the bathroom and gets killed.
Right.
Like nobody wants to watch that. So yeah, if you haven't seen that, check that out. I'm also that guy who hasn't seen that, so shame on me. I'm reporting on half the shit here that I haven't even watched. Did you watch any of these?
Yeah. I haven't finished it, but yeah, I'm like halfway through. It's the first few episodes are really disturbing, and then it begins to go into the past and then develop go more into the Jeffrey Dahmer story and sort of humanize him a little more, which create a little bit of controversy among some reviewers online, saying that they shouldn't humanize somebody who did such horrible things and things like that, because then it makes people sort of sympathize with him and stuff like that. But I thought it was so far it's a good series. So far, the episodes I've seen.
It has what's his face from the latter X-Men series, right? The guy
Yeah,
the
Evan
guy who
Peters.
played Quicksilver.
Yeah, and he is completely, as you would say, unrecognizable. Like he really embodies the guy. I mean, I've never met him, but you really believe that. At first, I was like, "Is this a documentary?" But yeah, really good acting by Evan Peters.
Nice. Yeah, I heard the same thing about the Ted Bundy story. Zac Efron played Ted Bundy in that, and I heard it was really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I heard he embodied the character. He embodied the person very well. So
Really?
yeah.
John Wayne Gacy?
No, Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. Okay. So
Yeah, he was that guy.
Confusing.
Yeah, he was the guy, the serial killer from Florida.
Yeah.
Had the really good looks and charm and seduced all the women.
Right. Okay.
And then would just end up killing them like afterwards. Yeah, so he did a really good job from what I heard. Also, another one I haven't watched, but eventually I'll get onto the whole serial killer kick and then get all these down. I'm sure, like with these, they're gonna start probably doing all these new reiterations of that's not even a word. I can't even talk today. Jesus. New version of like serial killers like Richard Ramirez and John Wayne Gacy and Ed Gein and fuck.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I remember as a kid collecting the serial killer cards.
They had serial killer cards?
True Crime, I think it was called.
Oh wow!
And it was just like baseball cards. It had the serial killer, and then you flip the card, and it had all the stats and everything. So it was yeah.
This guy had 10 stabs.
Yeah. Body counts and everything.
Damn, that's crazy. Anything to make $1, right?
Right.
All right, yeah. So Dahmer, Netflix, 10-episode miniseries. Guillermo del Toro, he's got a series called Cabinet of Curiosities, also something I haven't seen. So go figure. This is in its first season. This is also on Netflix. from what I hear, it's like kind of in vein of like the Twilight Zone and Creep Show, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit. It's an anthology series.
Maybe that's what I'm trying to go for. Is
a little bit of Alfred Hitchcock thrown into it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. No, really good. This one was. I love this one. It's 8 episodes, and maybe next podcast I'll do like a ranking as to which episode was my favorite.
Okay.
But because they're super different. I watched them in order, but you don't have to. You could just jump around because each one of them is. It's a different.
They're like standalone.
Yeah, they're very standalone.
Nice.
Different creative teams, different actors, different everything, and each one has their own charm. None of them were bad. I would say I enjoyed all of them, but they're also differently. You love them for different reasons.
Oh, okay.
And I do have a favorite.
Nice. Yeah, I'll try and get these under my belt also, so that way we can talk about them, and then I can see how your rankings are compared to mine.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Awesome. Next in the TV series, there's like so many still.
Yeah.
Is a spin-off of the TV show Supernatural from the CW. This one's called The Winchesters. This is the origin stories of the boys' parents, John and Mary Winchester, before they were married. So I've seen 3 episodes of it so far, and I loved it right off the bat. I love the Supernatural series. I'm a huge fan of Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. So definitely, if you're into the supernatural realm, I mean, you obviously are probably already watching this, but if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. It's on the CW, which is a non-cable network for all of you streamers out there. I'm sure you could probably find it on a CW streaming service, or have someone download it, or wait for it to come out on Netflix. So, but yeah, Winchesters. Have you dabbled into this yet?
No, I was never really into Supernatural. I was on and off of it through the duration, and yeah, I heard of the Winchesters, but yeah, being on the CW and not really having cable anymore is not something I'm able to follow. What does it come out week by week? Is it weekly? Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't checked it out.
Yeah, I think it's a great show so far.
Prequel, right?
It's a prequel. I would love it if they rebooted the show, or even just completely redid the show on a cable network, because just some of the things of these characters, you need to have some of that real like grit. You know, you need to actually see some of these kills that they're portraying, just to be super gnarly. Also, you need to hear like Sam and Dean like just really just kind of just rip into people, especially the demons. Like you need to hear some motherfuckers and some pieces of shit and just things that they can't say on TV. Although they're really pushing the envelope on television right now, but there are obviously some things they really can't say. But
some battle words. Or something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it would. It's spice. They need to throw a little spice on there.
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons. Like just the CW shows never really appealed to me. It's especially with like the DC universe and the other DC. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, it's very watered down.
Yeah.
I think Supernatural though is the least watered down of the shows.
Okay.
They try to get as far on that envelope to push it open, but
that's cool.
Without breaking the seal.
Yeah.
So because they don't want to cross those boundaries. But I think they do a really good job. But I would love to see it redone on a cable network. That would just be fucking awesome. Moving on. Speaking of watered down, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Ghost Island. It's going to have its first season either coming to a wrap or it's already wrapped. This is on Nickelodeon. This is part of the Are You Afraid of the Dark series. so they have a title like for each of their series. This, I don't know if this is, some things I've read they call it a reboot, but it's not a reboot if they have a different title. So they have like all these different titles after the Are You Afraid of the Dark name, and this one just Ghost Island. So Nickelodeon, check that out if you grew up watching any of these. Same too with Goosebumps. Goosebumps, this one is a reboot from what I've read, but is now on Disney Plus. This one also is going to be starting its first season. I think it started like somewhere in October. I'm not really sure. They're very wishy-washy on the dates. Like there was a lot of different discrepancies like on different sites that I went to on when the actual start date was. But season 1 for Goosebumps, the reboot, Disney Plus.
I'll have to look it up. Yeah.
That's another one. A lot of the younger kids, or at least kids our age, grew up.
Yeah.
There's the books, and then
I read the books,
and then the shows. And then the last of our current television, I can't believe we got to it, is coming to us from the Marvel Cinematic Universe here on Disney Plus, is Werewolf by Night. And dun dun dun, I have not seen this yet. This is definitely another one though that I'm going to try and watch this weekend. So on top of the movies that I'm going to watch, this is one I want to watch, because there's a lot of angry friends of mine that are pissed that I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, definitely. I think especially when I saw it, I especially thought Brandon's gonna love this one because of your love of the classic monsters, the classic Universal monsters, and this thing is done like a classic Universal horror movie.
Yeah, what I love the most about seeing the trailers from it is it's in black and white.
Yeah.
And
the whole thing is black and white.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, this is fucking awesome.
It really works. The way they did it really, really works.
So yeah, Werewolf by Night. This is actually setting up, what is it, the Midnight Suns? Is that what this is setting up?
Yeah, the Midnight Suns.
For Marvel.
Yep. So with Blade coming into the MCU, and I won't spoil it, but there's other creatures that appear now in the MCU that are gonna set up this horror sort of side of the Marvel narrative.
Similar to what Universal was trying to do with its Dark Universe, Marvel's actually probably going to be able to successfully get it done.
They've done it again. They've one up another franchise.
Those fucking guys. So those are our current TV series, and then now we're going to talk about just a few here, but our future endeavors. Anne Rice, we spoke about her in the beginning, and we spoke about the Mayfair Witches. So this is actually a new series that's going to be coming out also on AMC. I'm not sure if it's AMC and AMC Plus, but from what I read so far, just AMC, Mayfair Witches. This one's actually got a couple of good actors in it. Alexandria Daddario is starring in it, along with Harry Hamlin.
Oh, okay.
You might recognize that name from Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
So he's going to be in it with her. Anything she's in, I'm just going to watch. I don't care.
Same.
So I like her a lot. So, I mean, all jokes aside, I think she's actually a pretty good actress. She's very underrated. She's one of those, I don't know if she can be like a full-on leading actress, but she definitely is a really good character actress. She definitely embodies her roles that she does. So I can't wait to see like her take on an episodic show opposed to like movies that I've seen her in.
Yeah, more long form, absolutely.
Yeah. And then there is a video game back from 2013. I've never even heard of it, but it's called The Last of Us. This is actually being turned into a TV series as well. So not only are movies being turned into shows, but video games, obviously Resident Evil, Silent Hill,
Yep.
So this is going to be along those type of features. From the synopsis, it looks like it's apocalyptic.
Yeah. If you played any of the video games, see, basically it's like a zombie breakout of sorts.
Now, like I said, the zombies aren't dead yet.
Right.
So this will be on HBO Max. And these right now are being slated for 2023. So just around the corner. Not sure when in 2023 they're going to be, but definitely coming up.
A good cast. I'm reading some of the cast members here. Pedro Pascal from
there it is,
from Mandalorian.
Yeah, Mr. Mandalorian himself.
He was also in the Game of Thrones. Another actress from Game of Thrones, Bella Ramsey. I guess she's gonna play Ellie, and Pedro is gonna play Joel. And we got Nick Offerman.
Oh yeah, those from what I heard, those are the two main characters from the video game, right?
Yeah, Ellie and Joel. I don't know who Offerman's gonna play. Somebody called Bill, probably a new character. It looks promising.
Nice. All right, and then the last of our TV future we're going to talk about here. This has been 13 years in the making.
Yeah, wow.
13 years in the making because of the writer and the director, or the original writer and then the original director both have been in court over who gets rights.
For 13 years.
For 13 years.
Ominous number.
This is going to be in part with A24 Studios and Brian Fuller. We all know him from Hannibal. And then A24 has been really up there with a lot of good horror movies. With X, Pearl. Aren't they associated with those movies?
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're lining themselves with this new TV series that's going to be on the Peacock Network. So 13 years finally is out of courts. Everything is settled. This show is called Crystal Lake. This is going to be the prequel for Friday the 13th.
Nice.
Yes. So I had just read the news when Ollin came out, and he's like, dude, look what I just read. And I was like, I got goosebumps, and I was like, I just read that right now too. Oh, it's so awesome. But yeah, 13 years in court. Can you imagine that? Like trying to fight for the fucking name, the rights. So what happened, I guess, the judge awarded Victor Miller, who's the writer, the original rights to the name Friday the 13th, but the director, Sean Cunningham, owns the character of Jason Voorhees. So not only can Victor only do like an original Friday the 13th, so like if he was to reboot the series, he can only do it off that one movie, and or the characters that were in the movie. So this is what's happening with the Crystal Lake. Is essentially it's a prequel of the original movie, but anything future wise, now that it's not being in a legal chokehold, anything moving forward for Friday the 13th with Jason Voorhees now is ready to go. From what I hear also, that they're just definitely ramping up to get that written, but nothing has been confirmed. So the only thing that's been confirmed right now is Crystal Lake. But they definitely say that there are works happening for the next Friday the 13th. Don't know if it's going to be a sequel, prequel, reboot, reimagining, continuation of that one from 13 years ago, which was crazy because that was the last time we saw a Friday the 13th movie, was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
That was also with Jared Padalecki, which I thought was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It wasn't a bad movie. You gotta watch them for what they are.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, at all. But I mean, it could have been better. There's some things. I mean, every movie, once you watch it a couple times, you can critique the shit out of it, and oh, this could have been better. This could have been better.
Yeah, or be like me and I'm always redirecting movies where I'll be like, no, this is how I would have made this scene, and it would have been much better. But whatever.
No, I think we all have a little bit of that in us. So, but yeah, that's exciting news, Crystal Lake. So I cannot wait to see the direction. I actually just saw a promo poster for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it has a little boy. And it's very silhouetted.
Okay.
There's you can't see the boy's face. But you know he's a boy, and he's staring into the lake, and the reflection is Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I see. That tells you a little something.
Yeah. So
okay.
Lot of similarities to like Star Wars when they did the Phantom Menace with young Anakin was walking by that stone wall, and then you see the shadows Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I took it. That's what I took away from it. I was like, I like that. I like what they did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I'm very hopeful for this one.
Yeah, it's definitely looking promising for Friday the 13th franchise. So I'm really happy that it finally got out of court and is now finally able to move forward, so we can get some more fucking Jason movies.
Yeah, and I wonder if seeing that the studios that they're working with, are they going to do like the classic A24 type, where they're going to make it a little bit artsy, a little bit like not so.
I mean, with a prequel, they could,
right?
Because you know the original movie was set in the early '80s, if not, I think 1980 itself.
Okay.
So you know, and a prequel obviously would equal the '70s.
Right.
So,
oh yeah.
You know, that seems right up their alley.
Cool.
They're just like, hey. can we get on this, please?
Yeah, looks like it might work really well.
Yeah, so definitely excited to see this. Glad that it is finally over, legality wise, and then you know, the horror genre can now get itself some more fill. So those are our movies, DVD releases, TV series, canceled, current and future. I guess moving on from that, like I said, we have some comics and some music that Ollin wanted to talk about as well. No, I didn't write down the music. I know on the comics, I haven't had a chance to read these, but I figured Ollin could walk us through.
Yeah, sure.
The both of them. So we have two comics, and then I have one that I was actually really intrigued when I saw it, but I didn't write down the synopsis of it, so I don't know if you've heard about it. Called Black Tape.
Black Tape. No, does not sound familiar. What is, pray tell, Black Tape?
That's what I need to bring up here. But our other two comics that we're going to talk about here, one of them is called The Department of Truth, and the second one is called The Rise. The Department of Truth looks like it's a very, what would I call that? Conspiracy theory style comic.
Totally.
I guess is from I thumbed through it, but I didn't read it. So that's kind of what I've got. A little bit of it.
Yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
And then The Rise is another zombie. I think that's what that was, right? Zombie.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is by George Romero's son, George C. Romero.
Yep.
So definitely cool to see that it's in the family.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then I will bring up Black Tape. So if you want to start with the Department of Truth and give us a little synopsis about it.
Yeah, so Department of Truth follows Cole Turner, who's basically a conspiracy theory buff. He just studies conspiracy theories. And basically he gets approached by some mysterious characters who want to hire him for a secret organization that has been covering these conspiracy theories for generations. It just so happens that a lot of them are actually true. There's reptilian shapeshifters, the people who were involved in the JFK assassination, like all the conspiracy theories that you've heard.
That's fucking weird,
true.
like this reptilian thing, like,
Yeah.
because I hear about it all the time, and
Right.
I always see the fucking references about it, and it's like, how the hell did that start?
Right. they live in the sewers or something.
Or like V, like when V came out.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They dedicated a whole
V?
fucking show to that.
Right. Oh, V was such a cool TV show. But yeah, as it turns out, all of that is true. And there's a secret organization, a government organization that covers all this stuff up. And so now Cole Turner has to be given his expertise. They want him in the team, and that's how it starts. And come to find out, the leader of the organization happens to be Lee Harvey Oswald.
I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? He didn't die?
That's basically the premise of the book. Is written by we've talked about this guy before, Tinian the Fourth. So he was the writer of Something is Killing the Children, which we presented a couple of podcasts ago, and seeing that he could tell a good horror story, I decided to follow this other book called The Department of Truth. I'm still liking Something is Killing Children better, but this one is a lot more dense, and I've only read the first volume, and it goes into other figures like is the Yeti real, or was the moon landing actually real, or was it
They're still talking about that today.
and things like that. So it's it goes through all of the conspiracy theories and uncovers them, and it's just really fun.
Nice. What about The Rise?
Well, The Rise is, as you mentioned, George C. Romero, son of the father of the zombie trilogy, the original one. And it just sort of, it's another cool zombie story with really good art, really creepy zombies, and it just sort of elaborates on his father's work, I think, and does it really well.
So Black Tape, not really finding where I had originally, from what I originally read, it said it was like an anthology of like heavy metal albums, and
Cool.
kind of like a mystery of each album, like off their names. But I'm not finding that anymore. This one says, so the synopsis that they're giving is, we're ready to rock into 1960s Los Angeles with Black Tape. So I'm guessing the band, since this is like a metal thing, there's a band called Black Tape. This is new original mystery comic series from AWA Studios. Have you read anything from them?
Yeah, they do a lot of horror stuff.
Okay. Tells the fictional story of a miscreant rock idol, Jack King, across 4 issues. So it looks like this is only going to be 4 issues. In the middle of performing at a sold-out show, King simply drops dead. So this was penned by an award-winning comic creator, Dan
Panosian.
Looks like he does Iron Man and Wolverine. It's illustrated by the acclaimed international artist, Dalibor. I'm going to butcher this guy's name.
I think it says Talajic.
I don't know. It's Talaji, and it's got that AE like in Scandinavian, when they use the letters that are combined. But he writes for, or he illustrates for Deadpool and Logan. So Black Tape, the highlights of the best horror, heavy metal, takes us on a journey through 1960s Los Angeles while attempting to uncover what happened to this rock and roll legend. So
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's like a murder mystery, but with rock and metal mixed in. The cover work looks pretty cool. And it looks like there's this. It shows a mansion with all the lights in the house red coming through it. Has a picture. I'm assuming that's probably the lead singer. That's that Jack King. He's got red eyes, but he's got no shirt on. He's got black hair. Looks kind of like a skinny Danzig, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a picture of a blonde in the foreground, turning her head like she's looking at something. I don't know if it's like her supposed to be looking at his image or she's just looking that direction, like in shock. And then there's a pentagram.
Yeah.
over it. So it's definitely interesting. Like I said, the first synopsis that I read was completely different sounding. That's what caught my attention because it made it sound like it was going to be these individual stories off of like album covers.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting concept. You should market that.
Someone's going to hear that and be like, "Oh, thanks." So yeah, that's what I got originally from it, but I can't find it. I searched and I didn't see it anywhere. But yeah, this is it's still interesting to me. I would definitely
cool.
I would definitely read this.
And it's only 4 issues, so it should be a quick read.
So definitely something to check out for future comics, especially that's good to know. Also, AWA Studios, if they do a lot of like horror related comics. So if you guys are into horror comics, check them out, look them up, see if any back issues of them are at your local comic store. And yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say, so I just said yeah. But thank you, Ollin, for telling us about the Rise and what was the other one?
Department of Truth.
The Department of Truth.
Yeah,
so,
good stuff.
Yeah, the Rise. Definitely, I'm gonna read that probably next week. I just like zombies, so it'll definitely be a good read. But the Department of Truth seems like it's going to be a little more in-depth read, especially with all this conspiracy mixed into it.
There's a little bit of horror mixed in there. I won't spoil it, but there's a little bit of horror in there. It seems more. It starts off more like a suspense mystery.
Okay.
So it kind of goes through different genres, I guess, within the same book, which is interesting.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so that's your comic news. And then next podcast, we'll have a couple more issues and some other comics to talk about. Moving on to Lifestyle. So we talked about these guys a couple episodes ago. Slasher, since they have an app. If you haven't joined it, check it out. If you're into horror, definitely a really cool way to connect with new people, like-minded people. Like I said, everybody there that I've been in contact with has been super cool. I haven't turned a single person down that's requested my friendship, just because, you never know when you come across somebody that, might have something that would help you out in the future. So just good to, support everybody. You want to be supported, so support everybody. So as we go for that, the app is going to be turning into a web page. So it looks like not only is it going to be just an app, but it's going to be the new Facebook for horror. Looks like they're trying to evolve it into a global web page. So it's brought to everybody. Looks like right now it's only available to the US and Canada. And I think there was one other country. I can't think of what it is because I didn't write it down because I'm a bad person. Yeah, so he's the guy Damien. He's working on creating an actual web page for it to be more like, I guess, Facebook, just so that way people can have a better chance to reach out and connect with one another. So that's going to be coming out. I haven't seen a date on when that's supposed to be released, but I'm sure if you're already on Slasher, you'll see it when it drops. If not, check it out, or just wait for it and we'll tell you when it drops. But if you want to check out the app, you can get it through the Android store or on your app store, or you can check it out, slasher.tv. And let's see what else we have here. No books. We didn't really have any news, did we?
No, not really. I mean, just the new TV shows and then some of the movie announcements and things like that. But
Yeah.
news, not really.
Yeah, news. I don't think so either. All right, so I mean, I wouldn't say we saved the best for last, but we definitely have some words for this. We definitely wanted to bring our take on it, so we wanted to do the review for Halloween Ends. Both of us saw it, and yeah, we have some words for it, I guess.
You start.
Me? Oh, wow. So
you watched it on Peacock.
Yeah, I watched it on Peacock. I was really excited to see it in the theater, and I didn't just life and bullshit didn't allow me to get that opportunity to see it in the theater, so I sat and watched it at home on Peacock. So thankfully I did watch it on Peacock, and I didn't see it in the theater because I would have been super fucking pissed. That's really how I should start this. I'd have been super fucking pissed if I watched this in the theater. Like, oh my god. I love Halloween. I love Michael Myers. I love the whole story and aspect of what he is and who he is. I hated this movie. That's really all I can say is I hated this movie. Like, this movie seemed like it was not Halloween at the slightest. It was like some other bullshit movie, and then all of a sudden they threw Michael Myers in just to be like, hey, there he is. See, he's in the movie. But yeah, this, I don't know. This movie just really wrecked me. I don't even know how to talk about it. It just was so bad. It was not a Halloween movie. I don't know what direction they were going in with this. Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
It was. It felt really disjointed from the rest of the trilogy. It starts as sort of like a romantic sort of movie with the new characters, which I really appreciate. I'll say some of the good things. The cinematography is really cool. There's a level of quality in the filmmaking that was really well done. The music's amazing. I really like the music. And I was, and I wanted to be with it. So I was like, okay. So we're meeting these new characters. That's really cool, awesome. And we get into the whole romance with Corey and Allison. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm with it, And I thought they were doing like a passing of the torch sort of type of thing. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But somewhere in the third act, the first two acts are okay. And I was with it, but somewhere in the third act, when it's supposed to get really good, they sort of fumbled it, and dropped it, and I don't know. It just, I was like, okay, so why did we watch what was the point of watching all of this other stuff if this is what's going to happen? I don't know. It just it became disconnected from the rest of the trilogy, and all of a sudden they threw away a bunch of stuff that they had previously established just to do this one thing, which is what, admittedly, what we came to see is the final battle between Laurie and Michael.
It was like two movies that they made, and they decided to piece together. Like, they're like, oh, let's put these two movies together because they have the same characters, and it seemed like it was going along the same story, and we'll see how well it fits. And I don't know.
Yeah, I think also too many writers. There's 4 writers in this movie, which does make it seem like they're each pulling in different directions, and so the movie is just like going here and there. And
yeah, I'm sure every one of them was like, no, I need to have my main idea in the story. And okay, we'll put yours in there.
Shoehorn this thing that you're really attached to.
Yeah,
because it's your baby, and I guess we'll put it in there or something. And it was, you could tell.
I'd like to know what part of the story here Danny McBride had involved.
Yeah,
because he was involved in the first 2. Same with David Gordon Green, who actually directed it as well. But
does it direct all 3?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he does all 3. Let me confirm that. So, but yeah, I'd like to know what they actually did. Yes, he directed all 3.
Yeah.
What they actually did for this, and who were the fuck ups, and who were the ones who were trying to actually streamline it to be something that it ended up not being.
Yeah.
So
because it has some really good ideas.
Yeah, I could have been like, oh yeah, I've seen this before, but I like the interpretation that they're going with, because you saw this in 4 with Jamie Lloyd, like at the end, seemed like the passing of the torch. I saw what was gonna hopefully evolve into. Maybe Michael was done, and this new guy that looks like what they're shaping and molding into, is gonna take the torch. But then they fucked it up.
Yeah. Especially that scene where he takes. Now we're gonna get into spoiler territory.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you're gonna get spoilers, and I haven't seen a lot of shit, and I hear spoilers on everything. So shame on you, shame on me. Okay. Anyways,
this part where Corey, so we have this new character Corey, and he falls in love, or just the way they made the relationship, the romantic relationship between Corey and Allison, was kind of I felt it was a little bit forced. And then there was that awkward,
a little bit. Seemed like it would seem like that. All right, we need to write these two to have some kind of relationship. And
I could, in that scene where they meet in the hospital, I could hear the director telling the Allison character, as soon as you see him, you're really in love with him, or something. Like, you don't know who he is, but you're in love, and just the way it develops, and how Corey meets Michael Myers was a little bit confusing for me. The whole thing with the eyes and the flashing of the
whole flash forward and flashback thing that they had. Like, I didn't get that at all. Like, after it was done, to me it seemed like it was a transference.
Yeah, that's
what I was trying to take from it.
Yeah, that's what.
But none of that happened.
They didn't develop that. They didn't go on with that, and then all of a sudden, Corey just comes in and steals his mask, and just like, give me your mask, old man, and like, it's like Michael would never ever let you take his mask, man. Like, but anyway, it was just a little decisions that they made where it was out of character, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't watching that. I can't even consider it a Halloween movie. It just was something completely different. I don't know really what the fuck they were going for.
And I think that's part of it, right? Like, kudos to them for trying to sort of break the mold and everything, but it just didn't land, guys. Like, come on.
Yeah, it face planted. I was just like, wow. I don't even know what the fuck I just watched.
Yeah.
The ending, I was just like,
it was a bit anticlimactic for me.
Yeah.
I know that's what I came to watch, and I expected it, but I don't know. I just expected Michael Myers to go out in like some sort of epic way, and instead,
look at Halloween Kills. Look at how that scene in the streets, you know, where everybody was like fucking happy and cheering when they like basically beat him down or thought they beat him down.
Yeah.
And he gets up, he's like, "No, motherfucker." And then just starts handing people asses like left and right.
Exactly.
You know, and it's like,
that's
and then
Myers.
and then in this one it is like that didn't happen. What the?
Yeah.
What?
No, they nerfed him really bad. He was barely in the movie, which is not like a big complaint of mine. 40 minutes into the movie, no Michael Myers, and I was not like really upset about it until I see him just completely.
You weren't. I was
like a shadow of what he once was, and yeah, no, it was difficult to watch. And then, at first I was like, okay, so this is a 60-year-old or 60 plus, almost 70-year-old man. Okay, I get it. And then they were doing this thing where like every time he kills, he gets stronger. But then they don't. Again, they just show it to you. They don't develop it. They don't follow up on what that is. They don't explain it. They just sort of like leave it hanging there. A lot of things that they present to you, they just leave hanging and never do anything with it. And a lot of the themes, like the themes of trauma, the themes of collective trauma and how to get over the trauma and move forward, were worth exploring, and they didn't, and that upset me.
It was, I don't know. It was lazy, shitty writing.
Yes.
Very lazy. It was the same fucking bully story they incorporate in every fucking teen movie into this movie.
And what's with a 21-year-old being bullied by high schoolers?
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's not, the stud or anything like that, but I mean, what the fuck?
Even the little kid he was babysitting would bully him, and that little kid did a really good. The actor did a really good job at annoying the fuck out of me. So
no, he did a great job. I thought that entire sequence was really good.
It's a good start.
Yeah, the good start.
Like I said, it went from more to less. As the more you watch the movie, the more you like, wait, what's going on?
I mean, but they could have just completely wrote that as a completely different movie without Michael Myers in it. It could have just been a boogeyman movie or a scary movie.
I think it was, and they just shoehorned it in.
Yeah, it's just
like you said, lazy writing. They just had something, I don't know, shelved somewhere. Oh, let's just use this.
Yeah, like they fucked off and they're like, oh shit, here's our deadline. Quick, we got to write something tonight.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna want to see it tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That was, wow. I'm still pissed off about it. Like, I want to punch something like right now, just because how bad it was. Like, I can't believe. There's a couple of the guys that I follow on YouTube that are huge Halloween fans as well, and I think I'm just still pissed off about this movie that I haven't even yet to see what their reactions are.
Yeah.
To see like how they interpreted it or received it. Are they as mad as I am? Are they as upset? Or were they just like, oh, this is, cinema at its finest? And
no.
I think as soon as I fully calm down, like, I'm fucking shaking just talking about it, like how mad I am. Like, Like, I want to shake those guys. I want to grab them and tell them why.
Yeah.
Why find fucking Jason Blum and look at him and say, why?
Yeah.
Why did you allow this?
Yeah, no.
And I agree, there are some aspects of the movie that were good, but they were very minimal.
Yeah, there was more bad than good.
Yeah, very short pieces that they just like, they filmed a lot of things and then tried to, piece it all together. Like it was, like they forced a jigsaw puzzle, and
right.
It looks like a fucking Picasso opposed to a Rembrandt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Wow. Yeah, I've seen movies where I've completely hated and just have been completely upset, but this like takes the cake. Like this is, I'm glad Halloween ended, because of how bad this movie was. But I really hope that they reboot it and
they will.
They correct the shit that just happened.
Yeah. It'll take a few years, but I'm sure.
Yeah, I heard Blum wants to get the franchise going. Same with Green, like he wants to redo, but he wants everybody to, I don't know, enjoy is the right word, accept this franchise. Like I accept the first and the second movie, but this last one, I don't consider it a trilogy right now. I just consider it just a 2-movie deal.
Yeah. Kills, and even when Kills, people were saying that Kills was stupid. I was like, yeah, but it's really fun, Like this one, I don't know.
It had its moments of letdowns, but nothing of the sorts of this movie.
Yeah, not compared. You can't even compare.
Wow. I mean, this movie just, I can't stop saying wow because this is how bad. I'm staring at the Wikipedia page, just hoping that I'm just reading something different.
Yeah, it was a disappointment. Yeah, I tried watching it last night again. It didn't.
I mean, there's like so many different ways it could have went, also, and they didn't choose any of the paths. It's like you got that fork in the road, right? You go left or you go right, and they decided to go backwards, or they made a new path, or like when you get to the edge of a cliff, instead of going forward, like they went forward over the cliff instead of going to the left or to the right to follow it to see if there was a way, around the ravine or whatever.
Yeah.
They
just threw themselves.
Yeah, they threw themselves in it, just
head first.
Fuck it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and seeing how they portrayed Michael Myers, I understand he's, old as fuck. But from how many years was the jump of it?
4
years?
Yeah, it was 4 years. So he was in the sewers for 4 years?
Yeah, in the sewers for 4 years, eating rats. Also saw that once before.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that? Resurrection?
Yeah.
Where he was like supposedly in the sewers, like come on.
Yeah, but it's not a rehash; it's an homage.
Lazy writing.
Yeah, well,
but like I said,
I do not recommend.
I don't recommend it either. I mean, save your time. Don't read it. Or if you get a copy of it that's free, push fast forward. Like do like 8 times, just so we get over quicker.
Apparently, there's going to be a novelization of this movie.
Yeah, I heard that, and I heard the novelization is supposed to actually do it more justice. It's supposed to actually
explain things.
Yeah, read better than the actual movie.
Unacceptable. The movie needs to be the movie. You need to be. I don't want to read a novel about a movie that I already saw and hated. So Nice try, but no.
Yeah, it's like they're like, oh, we fucked up. Hey, Tim, can you write this movie but better?
Yeah.
Can you fix our fuck ups, please? Please?
No, not good.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, don't waste your time. Like, I hated how they portrayed Michael. Like I said, yeah, he's older, lived in the sewers, but, you know, he was in a fucking sanitarium and he just came out swinging. Like, in the 2018 movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's no different. You know, he's obviously eating oatmeal and fucking gruel or whatever the fuck they serve in a sanitarium to their patients, you know, for however many years it was. But, you know, he's Michael fucking Myers. Like, he's the epitome of evil.
Yeah, the themes of like the transference of evil and the whole evil doesn't die; it only changes shape. It's really significant, but
yeah, they fucked that up. Like they had that going in the first two movies, and then it's like this movie, they're just like, no.
Right.
It's like he's like an electronic device that's, you know, tells you it's got 5%. It's showing you the battery symbol's red, so you know you got to plug it in. So you plug it in, it goes to 6%, and then you just unplug it real quick, and you're like, oh, it's good to go. I can go the rest of the day now.
Yeah, why give us a character like Corey and sort of present him as like the next legacy sort of character for Michael Myers, and then just murder him in the third act? And why give us a romance with Corey and Allison, and in the third act, when he dies, she kind of doesn't care? It was like my impression. Like at first she was like, "Oh my god," but then she was like, "Whatever."
Yeah, like he was nobody to her.
Yeah, why? What was the need of the first, hour and a half of this movie? Because only the last half is sort of important to the overall story of the trilogy, and they just developed these things to throw them away in the same movie. I don't get it.
Yeah, like I said, I like the beginning, the whole like story arc of how they're setting it up. I thought was really cool because that kid just was. I was happy when he died, and that's sad to say, but like that's how awesome of an actor that kid was. Is that he had those feelings like in me where I was just like, God, finally, you get what you deserve, you little fucker. So, but the build up of that, you know, they would have taken that and then taking parts of the end, or not the end, I guess the build up of the end, like where he's in the house with Lori, right when she makes that suicide call.
Yeah. The fake suicide.
Yeah. If they would have taken that, and then just rewrote a whole new story to follow, it would have been so much better. Or if they wanted to really like indulge into the whole, you know, aspect of Corey, you know, like you said, becoming the new legacy, they should have just kept on that path, you know. That's the path that they should have. I also didn't like the whole like tag along thing, you know, like he was like, how the fuck did Michael get there? Did he get him in the car and drive, or on the back of his bike and ride him to those places?
Right. Yeah. What do they call it?
Or he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna have you follow me, and this is just gonna be a 4-hour walk to this fucking house. You know, come on.
Nobody's gonna notice.
Yeah, no one's gonna notice. Come on, Mike. Keep following me. Let's go.
I think they call it the teletransportation effect, where everybody just gets places. You don't know how they did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than the scenes of him fucking like being all mentally deranged, you know, riding on his bike, and Allison's on the back of it, just like she's like, oh, I'm riding on a bicycle or a motorcycle with Corey, and he's all looking like, I can't wait to fucking kill people.
Right. Everything was just disjointed. Things didn't make sense. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. So, I don't have anything else to say about it. Do you?
I'm giving it 2 stabs out of 5, only because the cinematography was really good. The editing was good, even though the scenes didn't really connect or make any sense. But it was really well. The style is really cool. It looks cool on the screen. But yeah, the things that happen and the dialogues and some of the decisions that the characters make are really stupid, and it doesn't deliver really.
Yeah, I agree. I would have to probably say 2 stabs out of 5 because I have to take in consideration the technical aspect of the movie. Like you said, other people were involved in this and, obviously gave it, 110%, to be, it could have been poorly edited. It could have been looked like crap, from the cinematographer, but everything was really well done. The sets were really good.
Yeah, the music was awesome.
The music was really good. They did a really good job on all of this, except for the story.
Ideas were good, just the execution sucked.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. Yep. So there you have it. Both of us 2 out of 5 stabs. Fucking Jesus.
Well, it is what it is. We'll just have to wait a few years for the reboot.
Yeah. It can only get better, right?
Yeah. There's only up from here.
Yeah, there's only up from here. So bright skies are coming. All right, so that's our review of Halloween Ends. So, fuck, I don't even know how to end this podcast off of that now.
Yeah, we have to find some way to leave on a good note.
So on a good note, I guess this podcast is not sponsored by Liquid Death. We like to call them our unofficial sponsor. Eventually, we would like to be sponsored by Liquid Death. I like Liquid Death. Ollin likes Liquid Death.
It's good stuff.
You guys should like Liquid Death. Comes in actually it's 5 different cans now. But the original cans were still water and sparkling water. So you have your black can, which is sparkling, and your white can, which is the still, or mountain water, I guess. And then they have flavors now. They have what's the mango? They have a mango, they have a berry, and they have a lime. The lime is a green can. It's called Severed Lime. The berry can is silver, and it's called Buried Alive. And then the mango can is...
It's like gold or yellow?
Yeah, like a golden yellow can. And what was the name for it? Like...
I forget.
I have to look that up now real quick here. I personally don't like the mango.
Yeah, that was my least favorite.
That was my least favorite too. It was very similar to just the sparkling can, but it had like an aftertaste of the mango, but not enough for me to even say it was mango. I could tell that it wasn't just a
essence of mango, maybe?
Yeah, essence of mango. Mango chainsaw.
Right.
Yeah, so I didn't get mango or chainsaw in that in that can. But my favorite out of those flavors was the Severed Lime. So I like that one. I liked Buried Alive. Buried Alive sometimes had berry flavor, sometimes had berry after flavor to me. Still pretty good though, but the Severed Lime was really good. And then obviously I don't really like sparkling water particularly, but I like the mountain water.
Yeah, the still water.
Yeah, the still water. So really good. Liquid Death. Their whole thing is death to plastic. So everything is an aluminum can. Plastic obviously is hurting the environment. And aluminum is a lot easier to recycle and turn into something else opposed to plastic. So if you can, help support them. Liquid Death, death to plastic. Their tagline is murder your thirst. So if you're ever parched and you want to murder that thirst, go pick up a can of Liquid Death. And those are our unofficial sponsors. Music is provided by metalcore band Zao, Z-A-O. If you haven't had a chance to check these guys out, the intro song is a song that they had originally wrote for the show, but due to unforeseeable circumstances, the show took longer than it needed to start, so they eventually took the song and created it into their own song, which is off of their new album, The Crimson Corridor. So check that out. I'm not sure what their actual website is. I think it's zaoonline.com. But check them out. If you type it in Google, it'll come up, Zao. And then you can always find us on all of our social media. So you can see us at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. You can listen to the YouTube, or I can't speak. You can listen to the podcast on YouTube. You can find it on Anchor FM, which is also on Apple Podcasts. And what else is it on? A bunch of other podcasts.
Podbean, maybe?
Yeah, Podbean. Yeah. Wow, I can't even think of... Come on, open up. Spotify. Yeah, Podbean, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts. So, and then we're on a new platform called Rumble. This is like the new YouTube. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's pretty open format until it gets censored like YouTube, I guess. So if you get on there, you can, get as crazy as you can, and then eventually they'll censor the shit out of you. So, but you can find the podcast there, and then you can always check out everything on our website, www.thehorrorscene.com. There we'll have reviews for movies that we've watched. Our first one will be Halloween Ends, and we'll have all of our other information. Also look out for merchandise. We have some t-shirts and sweatshirts that we're getting ready to start selling, so you can see the designs on there. And if you guys have any information or ideas for the show, feel free to email us through the website or send it to our Gmail at thehorrorscene@gmail.com. So for Last Rites podcast, I guess we'll be signing off. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Brown. And always with me,
I'm Ollin Hernandez.
So from us to you, we say adieu. Until next time. Thanks, guys.